This is a demo of the different yoga props that the Yes Yoga system uses. So sometimes I'll go over a specific usage in different videos, and other times there'll be just a little talking, and mostly we'll just do a practice together. But I'd like to give you an idea of some of the things in the morning. I'll tell you, or in our class together, I'll tell you which props we might be using or what's around. So let's begin. A yoga belt, 10 feet long is the one that I quite like. So I'm going to just put them back out of my way for the next session. Where I use a little spoon to adjust the fullness of my yoga balls, and you'll notice that there's different sizes and shapes here. This is a very deflated one for my pregnancy classes. This is a larger ball for sitting. I actually use a chair for many poses if people feel like they're unstable or unstable and they need a little bit more support. I'm going to show you there's lots of yoga bolsters. I use this yoga bolster for different reasons. Mostly it's for meditation and for Shavasana. Actually not meditation, but Shavasana. And here is a larger ball, someplace in the middle, depending on the size. And there are different videos that I show you exactly how to fit the size of the ball to the movements that we're doing. There is a lot of online yoga classes, and I'm really pleased that you've chosen to explore some of the work with me. Sometimes I hesitate to use the word yoga because there's so much somatic work in there, and people kind of think of a yoga class as a vinyasa class or a gentle class or a restorative class. The ball work actually, for me, has it all. It is easy if you want it to be easy. It's challenging if you want to be challenging. It's restorative if you want to be restorative. And mostly I'm interested in this work to give you sensations of support, freedom, and lightness. That's what we're always looking for, creating space and freedom and lightness. And there is no name for it. It's a sensation that we begin to cultivate in our bodies. So you'll find that I often start out slow. I look for that sense of lightness and freedom, and I connect my mind and body to that feeling. And then I try to take it into different poses throughout the session, sometimes more passive, sometimes more active. And for me, the goal is to be completely absorbed in the oneness of my practice. It has no name, it has no shape or form. It's just an experience that I quite like. Okay, so yoga balls and body work. You'll find that I do some body work in my classes. I also use balls of different sizes, so that's what this is all about. My work, I use balloons, very interesting enough, and they're fabulous. The buoyancy and the shape and size and the customization that I can use, so I use different balls, balloons. I also use balls similar to the size and shape. They have a different sensation in my body, but if you don't have any balloons, you might have a small ball around. Sometimes I like these egg-shaped blocks, and I use them for different things. Anything that I have you do with a ball, you can use with a block. Not quite as fun for me, but it works. Here's a balloon little demo. There's two balloons that I put one into the other, and then I take a chopstick and I move it around so that there's an open space, and I use either a hand tool to blow it up. It takes just a second, tie it off, I measure. I have some demos on some other YouTubes and videos, and I also have my little trusty yep. way it works. And sometimes you'll hear me use, instead if I don't have a ball and I don't have a block, you know, you're just at home and you're kind of quarantined right now and you don't have that, you can roll up 4 hand towels, or you can use some regular bath towels to make the shape and size that you want. That works too. If you don't have a balloon or a ball for some of the head and neck things, I often use, you can kind of adjust another hand towel to fit in the curve of your neck, so I use different things. Here's another hand towel. This was a demo for placing it under your ankles when you're on all fours, if it bothers your ankles, the tops of your feet. I'm not going to use a yoga mat today, but typically I do, and that's because this particular rug gives me more space and I don't have to manage myself around a mat. Sometimes a cushion is really nice. Usually we have a pillow or something like that at home that works. And here's a typical yoga blanket or Mexican blanket that's nice for all sorts of support and props. So this is sort of my home studio. And each time we meet, I will make some recommendations. So put them in a corner someplace and have them ready so that you won't have to have very much fuss or muss. And once you get the hang of it, you'll decide. And of course, anything we do, you don't have to have any kinds of props. They work just fine without it. I personally like them because it gives me the freedom and lightness. It allows me to relax some muscles and strengthen others. So I'm always looking for inhibition and activation. And so it's as simple as just having it put together. I'm going to slide right over here. And then we'll begin.